What's up everyone, welcome to the video. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Today I want to tell you how I made this lead. In context, let's get straight into the tutorial. I basically exported the MIDI information from the other sound that you heard and I imported it into this piano roll. Currently this is just the init preset from Serum. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Most of the leads consist, or a lead consists normally in very simple wave shapes. It's usually either a square wave, a saw wave, sometimes a triangle wave, probably sometimes a sine wave, but usually a lead does not have a very complex wavetable. And so that's what we are going to base ourselves on. Pretty simple wave shapes. You don't really need really complex stuff to build a decent electronic music and, well, in this case, melodic dubstep lead. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start off by turning on mono, and we're going to raise the portamento to around 30 milliseconds. Let's see. We want to set the random down as well so that the sound is consistent. It doesn't change every time you press play. We're going to go ahead and select basic shapes, and we are going to choose the square wave. We are going to select a noise. We're going to go to alpha NZ, but we're not going to use the noise though. The noise is going to be silent. In Oscillator B, we're going to want to select basic shapes as well. And we're going to go over to this wave, which to be honest, I don't know the name of this one. We're going to set the unison to 9, around 9. As you can see right now, it sounds pretty weird. Reduce the level a little bit of this second oscillator to around 48%. Now we are going to use the noise oscillator. We're going to modulate the coarse pitch with the noise oscillator. So basically we're going to go over to coarse pitch, right click, select mod source, and then go over to noise oscillator. We're going to go over to the matrix and we want to mess around with the output setting. This is at 100%. We can turn off oscillator A just to listen to oscillator B in a more detailed way. We don't want too much of this modulation, we just want around 15%. And we want to raise this an octave up from oscillator B, so that you kind of have more variation in terms of the way that the lead is spread in the frequency spectrum, so that you have less probabilities of having phase problems in this case, and that you don't have really phase cancellation. We are going to go over to the filter, turn on the filter, and go over to MG low 24. This is a low pass filter in this case. I think the MG stands for something like analog stuff. I think an emulation of an analog filter in Serum, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. We are going to put the cutoff pretty high at around 14. Like this, I think is pretty fine. And we're going to route the note source to the cutoff, just like this. Just to make sure that we are cutting out the very highs, we're going to go over to the effects. We're going to start off by distortion, and we're going to use the tube distortion. We're going to turn up the drive pretty high to around 88. And we're going to compensate with the mix at around 25%. Just to give that extra little bit of saturation to the sound. We're going to go over to post to cut off the frequencies after distortion, and we're going to just cut off everything above 13K. We're going to go over to hyper and dimension. We're going to turn off the hyper, and we're going to raise the dimension to around 25% as well. Just to give more width, we are going to compress this, multiband compression. We're going to turn on multiband mode. We're going to turn down the threshold to around minus 13 decibels. The ratio 1.4, and the release up. And we're going to turn off the low frequencies because we don't really want the low frequencies in this sound. As you can see, it doesn't really even make that much of a difference. I just realized that I had an EQ. We are going to EQ this a little bit. We're going to set this to a high pass filter. We're going to turn down the Q factor. We are going to modulate the frequency knob with the note source. In this case, put this a bit lower so that it changes every time the note also changes. We're not going to modulate this too much though. We're just going to put this around 16 just to have that tiny change. We're going to set the second frequency to a low pass filter. We are going to once again set the Q factor to around 46%, and we are going to raise the frequency knob to around 10K, like this. We also want to turn down the gain a little bit from low mids in this case, so that you don't really muddy up the sound too much. Next up, we're going to add delay. We're going to link both left and right channels. We're going to set this to ping pong mode, and we're going to filter the very lows and the very highs as well a little bit. We're going to set this to dotted 8 notes. As you can see, you can kind of hear a little bit more space. Next up, we're going to add reverb. Hall reverb. We're going to turn up the low cut. We're going to turn up the high cut as well to 68%. And we're going to turn up the mix knob to around 50% as well. Now, to add a little bit of movement to the sound, we're going to turn on the filter. We're going to put the filter after distortion, but before all of these effects. And we're going to set the filter to MG low 12, which is a a low pass filter. We're going to go over to the LFO 1, and we're going to create a ramp down in this case. We're going to put the cutoff to around 177 Hertz, and we're going to modulate the cutoff with LFO 1, and we're going to set this to around 42%, and we're going to set this to envelope as well. We're going to go over to the rate, raise this up to 116. We're going to turn up the resonance a little bit, and we're going to leave the mix, the fat, and the pan. Well, we can turn up the fat to compensate for the filtering. We want to control this with the macro knob so that it gets more articulated in the beginning and it starts getting more and more legato as the sound progresses. So now you have full control over this knob without having to affect the modulation of the LFO 1. Also, we want to make this a little bit more staccato, so we want to go over to the envelope 2. We want to set the sustain down, and we want to put the decay really, really low to around 12 milliseconds. And we're going to modulate the coarse pitch of the oscillator 8 with the LFO 2. We're going to set this to unipolar, and we're going to set this to around 25%. So before and after. You have like more of an articulation so that the sound actually is more staccato. If you want to make this smoother, you can go over to the curve of the modulation and lower this a little bit. You want to make the oscillator be not too boring. I think right now it's kind of boring in this case. We're going to go over to envelope 3. We're going to set the sustain to 0% as well. And we're going to put the decay to around 99 milliseconds. And let's see how it sounds if we modulate the octave of the oscillator beat with the envelope 3. So right now, basically, the envelope 3 is making the octaves go down really quickly in a space of 99 milliseconds from oscillator B in this case. It's a very subtle effect, however I think it makes a difference as well. It gives it a little bit more life to the sound. We want to emphasize the articulation once more. To do this, we're going to go over to the LFO 2. We're going to create a ramp down as well. We're going to set this to envelope and put this to 1/16. And we want to modulate the high frequency band of the multiband compressor with the LFO 2. And we want to control this with a macro in this case as well. We're going to go over to the aux source and assign this to a macro. However, as you can see, what we want to do here is we want to make the sound more articulate, more staccato in the beginning, and we want to make it more legato in the end. The way it is set right now, it's actually the opposite, and we want to invert this. We're going to go over to this mod. Well, this is the modulation, and we're going to invert the modulation. So we're going to select this here. As you can see right now, when the cutoff filter is at its lowest, it's more staccato, and as we raise the cutoff, it becomes more legato. Of course, if you want to make this even more staccato, you can reduce the cutoff. It's really up to you. Thank you so much for watching it until the end, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this.